Hey guys, I see here. I got a comment from one of my videos that was asking which is the most important stat for a healer, and it prompted me to want to make this video. So I did a bunch of math with Google Sheets and the ESO Build Editor comparing critical chance, healing done, max magicka, and spell damage. And I'm going to break this video up into a few sections explaining how the Build Editor works, the build setup, the math, and the results. So if you want to just skip the explanation process, be sure to check out the timestamps in the description below. Okay, the way the ESO Build Editor works for healing is after you've entered in all your sets, skills, passives, and buffs that contribute in some way to your healing done, healing received, or healing taken, it will add that all together into a new value called healing total. This number is going to be what you multiply against any healing tooltip you see, and that new number will be the approximate amount of heal you can expect in the actual game. For example, if my Honor the Dead tooltip said it could heal for 16.2k and my healing total was 58.6% in PvP, then I could expect a normal non-crit burst heal of about 9.4k. Now for the build, I tried to be as realistic as possible with how I normally put my builds together so I could technically run these setups in game and still perform within my expectations. I'll be sure to put links in the description below for each of the build templates I used in the ESO Build Editor so you guys can take a closer look if you like. My static variables between all four setups were the following. Number one, I was a Templar, no CP, 5 piece pariah on the body, a normal weapon damage enchant, a 5 heavy 2 medium setup, the balanced warrior passive from the Templar's Adric Spear subclass passive, major mending, which we get from heavy attacking, minor mending, which we get from standing in the Templar's extended ritual, and minor sorcery, which we get when activating the Templar's living dark ability. For the healing done setup, I was using 1 piece of Earth Gore and Sentinel with the Ritual Mundus and an Argonian wearing Heartland's Conqueror. For the crit chance setup, I was using 1 piece of Ice Heart and Slime Craw with the Shadow Mundus, Major Prophecy, and a Khajiit wearing Mother Sorrow. For the spell damage setup, I was using 1 piece of Valorgs and Narayanith with the Apprentice Mundus and a High Elf wearing Rattle Cage, which granted me the Major Sorcery. And for the Max Magicka setup, I was using 1 piece of Dama House and Swarm Mothers with the Mage Mundus and a Breton wearing Crafty Elfique. Now for these 4 setups, I also did 3 comparisons each, where I compared Precise, Powered, and Nerdhone on the restoration staff. Okay, so for the calculations, let me explain what you're seeing here. If you didn't already know how radiating regeneration works, over 10 seconds it actually ticks 6 times, once on the initial cast and then 5 times every 2 seconds after that. The tooltip column is what you see in the ESO Build Editor for radiating regeneration. I then multiplied that by the healing total for each build setup and got the in PvP number that I would actually see in game. Then because radiating regeneration ticks 6 times, I just divided that in PvP number by 6 to get the per tick column. Then I took the crit modifier per build and multiplied that by the per tick column and then added it back into the per tick column to get the total crit heal per tick. Now for the total average crit heal, all I did was take the crit chance number, let's say for example it was 40%, then multiply that by 10, you'll get 4, then I assume I get 4 crit heals out of 10. Conversely, if my average crit heal is 40%, then my average normal heal would be 60%. Then the total in blue is just adding those 2 columns together for the total potential heal you can get. It's just an approximation because crit chance is not a guarantee. For the burst heal, I was using Honor the Dead. Calculations are very similar. Tooltip is what you would see in game. The in PvP column is just the healing total multiplied by the tooltip, and the in PvP number is also your normal heal since it is just a burst heal, and the crit heal is just the crit modifier multiplied by the in PvP number then added back into the original in PvP number. Now for the results, I was a bit relieved that healing done came out on top. I always believed and said that healing done was the way to go to increase your overall healing output in PvP, and I'm glad I was right on that. For spell damage, it definitely has the highest tooltips every time, but after the healing bonuses are calculated, your actual heals are going to fall a bit short. However, if you wanted a healer that had some damage abilities like utilizing Blast Bones or the Warden's Screaming Cliff Racer, then investing in spell damage is definitely the way to go. And Max Magicka is overall the worst investment to put all your time into if you want to get heals. I've always said to never go more than 30k Max Magicka, and I still stick by that, mostly because I think 30k is the perfect amount of resources to get everything you need done done in PvP. Now, crit chance didn't surprise me with the lowest tooltips, and the base heal sure is lackluster, but if you look closely, I almost missed it when I was writing the script for this. When you are looking at the crit setups, you want to make sure you compare crit heal to the normal heal for the other categories, and the Honor the Dead burst heal actually has a higher number than the normal heal for the healing done setup. Conversely, if you look at the numbers for radiating regeneration, the crit heals on both the powered and precise setups are actually lower than the non-crit heals of the powered healing done setup. So what does this all mean? Well, it's kind of tricky because there are both HOTS and burst heals. The optimal setup for HOTS is to invest everything into healing done compared to a powered healing done setup. If you were going to do HOTS with an all crit setup but with a powered trait, then you'll be about 7 to 8% less effective, and if you did the same crit setup but with a precise trait on your restoration staff, then you'll be about 25% less effective. For burst heals, the optimal setup would be to invest into crit chance and the crit heal modifier, with the exception of a powered restoration staff. If you change to a precise restoration staff, you'll be closer to 50% crit chance, but your actual heal will be about 13% less effective compared to a 40% crit chance build with the powered restoration staff. And for spell damage, it's better than max magicka, but not better than healing done or crit chance. In conclusion, what's my take on all this? Healing done is best for HOTS. Crit chance is best for burst heals, but both setups are 100% viable. If you're a healer that wants to do some damage, then you want to invest into spell damage. Otherwise, your heals are always going to be weaker compared to healing done or crit chance. And don't do any super investment into max magicka. Just keep it between 27-30k, just so you can do everything you need to in the game. Alright, so let me know what you guys thought about the video, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. See ya.